Hi everyone, we're going to start on a workout now. The first thing we start off with is warm up, and we're going to warm up our neck and our body, and to try to keep everything warm and not cool. Okay, so the first thing we start off with is neck rotations, and rotate to our left first. Then rotate to our right, switch sides. Remember to do full rotations. Okay, now move our neck to the left side and hold. Try to hold for 10 to 15 seconds. Now switch to the right side and also hold for 10 to 15 seconds. So this is more of a static stretching. Okay, now do it upwards. And then downwards. And remember for each one, every time we switch, try to do it for 10 to 15 seconds. And go to the right now. Okay, now we're going to do some shoulder stretching, posterior shoulder stretch. So again, this is also a static stretch. And that one we're going to try to hold for 15 to 30 seconds. Okay, so this one is a tricep stretch. So it's an arm stretch. And remember to hold it also. Okay, switch sides. Okay, so this one is to just extending your arms. Good for your elbows and also for your shoulders. So remember to rotate to do the front and the back. Okay, now we're moving on to hip circles. So this is to warm up our spine, our back, and our hips, our hip joints. If you hear any cracks, it's perfectly normal. Okay, now shift your hip forward and backwards. Forward and backwards. So alternate. Okay, now moving on to knees. So knee circles again. So right now start off with the left side, left rotation. So that would mean counterclockwise. Okay, and then moving on to the foot rotations. Remember to do both sides. So when you start off with the left rotation, and then rotate, do the right rotation. Okay, so now moving on to the quad stretch. So if you can't do it, if you don't have balance, try to use a wall. So use one arm and try to hold on. Try to hold on to a wall, and do the quadriceps stretch. Also remember to lean forward sometimes. Lean forward and lean back. Okay, so same thing, but it's the forward stretch. Also stretching your quadriceps. So it stretches both your quadriceps and your hamstrings. Right, so rotate back and forth. Okay, now switch sides. Do this stretch for about 15-20 seconds. Okay, now we're gonna do the foot stretch. So this is the arm and leg extension. So both your arm and your leg are hyperextended. And try to rotate to your left side. Remember to grab onto your ankles. So this stretches your hamstrings by elongating it. So for each side, try to hold it for about 5 to 10 seconds and rotate onto the right side or rotate onto the other side. Okay, now this one is going to be the squat. So this works on your balance, and this works on both your legs and your quads. Remember, when you go at the bottom, try to hold for a couple seconds and then come back up. Okay, so the last one is the lunges. And the lunges are also a good stretch for your legs. So remember at the bottom, remember to hold for a couple seconds. And try to do this maybe 8 to 10 repetitions for each leg, and then rotate to the other leg. Okay, so previously we did all the stretches standing up. Now we're moving on to stretches on the mat. So first stretch is your calf stretch, and using your left leg first. So remember to pull on your shoe. You should feel a stretch under your kneecap. That's your calves. Okay, now rotate. And try to do this for about 10 to 15 seconds. Okay, now we're going to move on to the butterfly, or the chicken wing. So first try to hold the static position first, and then after transition into moving your legs too. Okay, now we're gonna extend both our legs and just try to lean forward with the upper body. And this stretches your back, your lats, and your traps, especially, and your legs too. And remember to hold. Okay, continuing on to some yoga poses. This pose is called a vinyasa flow. and it's used to stretch your lower back and your upper back. So try to hold as best as you can for about 20-30 seconds. And then transition into a cat stretch. So there's two parts. The first cat stretch is to flex your back upwards. And in about 20 seconds, we're going to move on and we're going to flex your back the other way. We're trying to maintain your back straight. So again, try to hold all these poses for about 15-20 seconds. Okay, and this is called a cobra stretch. So cobra is the opposite of the vinyasa, where it stretches out your back also, but in a different direction. So if you need to, you can go over those stretches one more time. So back to vinyasa now. Okay, so we're gonna do the side stretch. So by extending your arms upwards, you're stretching your back. Especially rotator cuffs. If using one arm is too hard for you, you can use your elbow instead. Now we're moving on to the cardio section. First thing we're going to do is the jumping jacks. And cardio is really important for our body. We have to work our heart and to work our muscles. Keep moving. So do about 30 to 40 jumping jacks, or if you time it, so about 30 to 40 seconds of jumping jacks. And then jumping on your spot. So these workouts provide a good sweat. Okay, now jump side to side. Forwards and backwards. Okay, so these are called the skate poses or skate runs. It's the same analogy as skating, but instead you're using your shoes. So remember to go right and left, right and left. Okay, continue on with our cardio. We're going to go on our mat. First thing we're going to do is mountain climbers. And try to keep your legs straight and your knees bent. So do this for about, again, 30 to 40 seconds. And then take a break. So these are called the leg splits. Also great for cardio. Okay, so this is called a forward leg push. So this also provides a good stretch for your legs, besides doing cardio. These would be called a dynamic stretch, because you're moving your legs instead of statically holding it. Okay, we're gonna work on push-ups. So instead of just cardio, this also works some resistance workouts. Good for your triceps and your whole body stability. Okay, now we're moving on from push-ups to elbows. Elbow, and then back to hand. So remember to switch from elbow to hand. Okay, so continuing from the push-up position, we are going to switch hands and go to our right side. Switch hands, go to our left, back to middle, right side, middle, left side. Yeah, so this works on our core, this works on our stability and balance. Continuing with our ab workout, now we're going to work on our abdomen. The first thing we're going to do is crunches. So try to do as much as you can, or time it. Moving on to full sit-ups. So this might be a little harder than crunches. For more advanced workout, the sit-up is the more ideal workout. And now moving on to bicycles. So first we're starting off with the forward bicycle. And after 30 seconds, transition to the back bicycle. Okay, now we're gonna do the leg extensions. So this workout is you're trying to extend your legs and holding it at the middle position. Okay, now we're moving on to leg raises. So there's going to be 3 phases: the middle, low, and the high. So depending on yourself, you can move from high to low or mid to high, mid to low, wherever you want. But try to hold and not put your feet onto the ground. Okay, now moving on to scissor kicks. Okay, so this is the hip rotation with the leg rotation, hip and leg rotation. So these work on your obliques, the side of your abdomen. Okay, so these are called the elbow touches. Okay, so try to do that for about 10 to 15 seconds. It's a bit of a harder exercise, more advanced. So if you can't do it for long, it's perfectly normal and it's perfectly fine. Okay, also, this is also a more experienced or more advanced workout. And these are called the butterflies. What you do is when you clap, your legs are together with your body, but when you extend, your legs extend and also your arm extends. Okay, so we're gonna do toe touches. So these work on your sides, your obliques. You should feel tightness or a pull on the side of your abdomen. Okay, again, this is also a oblique workout, and this is the side planks. Remember to push your hip down. Don't push your arm down. Push your hip down in order to feel the obliques work. So you see how my left arm is always straight? So I'm going to keep that when you're doing this exercise. So last one, we're going to do the planks. So try to hold this for ideally a minute, 45 seconds to a minute. If you can hold it for longer, by all means, go ahead. Okay, now we're moving on to resistance workouts. Our first workout is going to work on our back. So this is called the back pulls, the mid back pulls. So this works on our rhomboids, our rotator cuff, and our lats. Remember to try to hold when you're right beside your body. So same thing, pulls, but this is a more upward pull. So it focuses more on the upper back, like your traps. So try to do this for about maybe a minute or about 15 to 20 reps. Okay, so this is it's called a back external rotation. So primarily this focuses on your rotator cuffs. Try to keep your elbow straight, like try to keep it at 90 degrees. Okay, this is very similar. This is also external rotation for your rotator cuffs. So the key to this exercise is to keep your arms glued to your body. Okay, last one is the back flies. So using your band, try to pull the band on the opposite direction. to create a pull. So these are called back flies. Okay, moving on to shoulders. First thing we're going to do is anterior shoulder raises or anterior deltoid raises. So try to do about 10 to 15 times on the left side and then rotate onto your right hand. Okay, now we're moving on to the side deltoid raises. So this is a bent arm deltoid raise. So this focuses on the front of your shoulders. Okay, this one is a shoulder press. And when you go down, remember to keep your hand and your elbow at a 90 degrees, aligned with your shoulders. Moving on to arms. So first things first, we're going to start on biceps. And this is a very typical bicep curl using the resistance band. If you need more resistance, try to use your feet, or put the band at your feet and then pull up. It's much harder. Or have a partner to hold the other side of the band for you when you do the curl. Okay, again, so try to do this for about 10 to 15 times on one arm and then rotate onto the other. So also you can change the grip to a side grip. It's called a hammer curl. And this focuses on more of the side of the arm, side of the bicep. Okay, this one is called a concentration curl. So this is a really super isolated workout. Isolated bicep workout. So first you put the band on your feet, under your feet, and then you curl upwards. And try to put your elbow on your thighs, and try not to move it. So if you finished 10 to 15 reps, try to rotate arms. You see how my elbows never move? Yeah, so your elbows should never move away from your thighs. Move anywhere. Okay, moving on to tricep extensions or tricep kickbacks. So if you want a harder kind of kickbacks, try to put the band under your shoes. The resistance is much harder. Again, try to keep your elbows aligned, elbows straight with your body. Don't put it straight up, don't put it straight down. Just keep it aligned with your body. Okay, so this one is a tricep extensions. So use your other hand to hold on at the back. And extend up, so your arm should be straight at the top. Okay, so this is called a tricep pushdowns. So you get to the bottom, try to extend your arm. Remember to alternate hands. Okay, so this one is working on our legs and our shoulders. So this is a shoulder squat, shoulder press.